It's too bad the Saints couldn't do us the favor of just winning against the Commanders today. But then again, they weren't supposed to push the Commanders to near overtime, let alone be in a spot to win. So, hey, I decided, because of how busy I am, not to stress about making an Eagles-Steelers video, because everything that I needed to say would show on the field. And take away 2 fumbles, 1 muffed punt, the other one a great effort by one of the best defensive players out there in TJ Watt. Jalen Hurts can throw. Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, they can catch and run with the football. Saquon got a little dinged up, and the Steelers played really good against the run, but they can play football. You know, the Eagles, they could play some good football. And look what happened. The Eagles won 27-13 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The defense really took over in the first half. The pass game was ballistic when it needed to be. Wide receivers were getting open. Hurts was finding all the wide open guys, making all the right throws, making some good throws, making some good plays with his feet, everything that you can name. They were doing it. They were doing it, and they did exactly what you'd expect them to do. They didn't blow the team out. They didn't need to. There's no reason to run up the score, to feel that need to do that. A lot of players got dinged up too. A.J. Brown had a scare. Lane Johnson, Mekhi Becton, Darius Slay, Saquon Barkley. A lot of players on this Eagles team had a few scares. Landon Dickerson went out as well with an injury. Hopefully they're all okay. And then obviously on the Steelers side, TJ Watt. If there was any one injury the Steelers could have, you'd hope it wouldn't be TJ Watt, but it was TJ Watt of all people. He went out with an ankle injury. And, I mean, at the end of the day, when it mattered the most, this team does what they do best. And they did it. They pounded the rock on third downs. They managed to make great throws and get wide open and make big plays. There was a hip drop tackle on A.J. Brown that they didn't call. Very blatant. And hopefully he's okay. He wanted to come back into the game, but they pulled him out. And honestly, it's a smart decision. The 2-minute warning was coming up, so there's no real reason to have him out there and risk him hurting himself after that catch. But listen, man, this team is fine. The media can stop making these dumb conspiracy theories, trying to ruin the friendship between these guys, the locker room mentality, the culture that this team has cultivated, all in the search of some unknown story that this team is broken and a mess. Like, we had one bad year last year. We had one bad stretch. The coaches that were a part of that were gone. This team rallies behind Nick Sirianni. Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio are bringing the best out of these players. Let them go out and do their thing. Even if they struggle. Every team struggles. No one's talking about the Lions right now, right? Well, maybe they are. But Jared Goff is throwing for 4 straight touchdown passes, no interceptions, looking great. But his defense is allowing 40-something points to the Buffalo Bills. So, I like, every team has their bad game. Every team has their matchup that doesn't go their way. It's a part of sports. It's a part of football. And it doesn't matter, like, what is said or what is done. You can't be making all these dumb accusations and conspiracy theories about these players, and if they're being too vague for a reason, or, you know, if they're calling out their player. Like, at the end of the day, today showed you that A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Hurts were all on the same page, that the pass game needed to be better because it wasn't good enough last week. And they came out, Hurts threw for near 300, 2 touchdowns, ran for another, looking great. And that's all that should matter. But no, you know? And I'm not trying to make this a rant about the media because I've done enough of that. But at the end of the day, this team went out and said what they were going to do and did it effectively. And they played a great game. Minus 2 fumbles. Cooper DeJean, clean up the muffed punt. Jalen Hurts, I mean, listen, he's been playing really great football lately when it comes to turning the ball over. TJ Watt is a really good player. He just made a really good play. At the end of the day, they didn't let that over. They overcame all that. They didn't let that take over the game. They were able to put up points. The defense was able to make stops. We got a few sacks on Russell Wilson. We made plays when we needed to the most. And at the end of the day, 12-2. We're going to be tied with the Lions for the number 1 seed with the division crown on the line next week against the Commanders in Washington. So, big game. Let's enjoy this one. But honest to God, tomorrow when the clock strikes midnight, I ain't enjoying this game anymore. I'm focused on Washington, and I'm dead set and ready to watch this team do what they do best. And that, as of the last 10 weeks, is win, no matter what it takes. Fly, Eagles, fly. No more BS. Let's get this done. I'll see you all later.